You now are listening to the audio podcast of Prisoners of Hope, the antidote to what ails your heart. I'm your host, Dr. Debbora Whitson. So come on in, pull up a chair, and open up your mind as you get ready to receive the download that hope will bring. Well, hey, it is a great day. And this is the third part of a three-part series on situational amnesia. And remember, the situational amnesia is your tendency to forget God's past provisions because of your current circumstance. Last time we were together, we talked about three strategies to fight situational amnesia. It is not a good thing, okay? It is a bad thing when it comes to our faith walk. So I talked about three strategies. Continuing that, we'll be talking about four more strategies. Enjoy. Another strategy for conquering amnesia is to learn the character of God. Now, the character of God is talked about all through the Bible, the Old Testament and the New Testament, Revelations, from Genesis to Revelations, right? But I really like looking at Exodus 34, 6 through 7. And I'm just going to summarize the character of God. He's compassionate. So, what are the strategies that you can use to combat situational amnesia? Is to know that God's character, He's compassionate, He's glorious, glorious, more wonderful than anything you can imagine. He's slow to anger. Wow. A lot of times we think, oh, God is mad at me. That is not his character. See, when you know God's character, you're not fooled by the enemy. He's forgiving. I read something that was real interesting. And I kind of knew it, but it kind of got from my head to my heart recently. And it said that God does not remember our sins. And I've read that over and over again, but just how the Bible's living, and then one day you're reading it and it's almost like a Mack truck that ran you over. I'm like, wow, he doesn't even remember my sins once I ask for forgiveness. Remember that. He is abounding in love. Oh, there's agape love. There's all kind of loves, and he gave his only son. Now I'm a mother. Now I'm gonna tell you one thing. If I had to give up my son and have him hang on a cross and be spat on and be humiliated for hours and hours and hours and beat with a cat of nine tails. Have you ever seen a cat of nine tails? You need to look it up. I would not let that happen to my son. You would go to hell because I would not let that happen to my son. So this his love is abounding. It's just more. It just jumps on you, and it's just more than you can imagine. That's part of his character. He's faithful. What does faithfulness means? It means dependable, the same, r- a rock, a foundation, faithful, and he's just. That is his character. Once you learn his character, you can use that to combat, to conquer your situational amnesia. Another strategy to conquer situational amnesia is to ask. You're going to ask or seek wisdom. All you have to do is ask, and he will give you wisdom. Matter of fact, I love James 1 verse 5, it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, any of you, you should ask God, who will gives generously without finding fault. Oh my goodness. And he will give it to you. My goodness. What a relief. God will not only give us wisdom in our moments of need, but he also will give it generously. Speak, Deborah. He will give it abounding in love. That's another strategy. So know his character and seek his wisdom. Another strategy that you can use to fight situational amnesia is to stop the negatives. Stop the negative thoughts. Say, I can't control my thoughts. Oh, yes, you can. You are in control of your thoughts. You can replace negative thoughts with positive ones. Contrary thoughts cannot occupy the same mental space. Let me clarify. What I'm saying is opposing thoughts, both negative and positive thoughts, you can't think them at the same time. Does that make sense? Stop the negative speech. Don't use your mouth to stunt your blessings. Thoughts, words, speech have power. So watch what you put into the air. You might say, well, I don't believe that stuff. I don't believe it. Okay. Remember, your belief is not a prereq for the truth. Let me prove something to you. Because I know you've experienced this. Have you ever been thinking about someone and you go to the phone to call them or you go to text them, and all of a sudden, before you start to text or pick up the phone, it rings or the text comes through and the other person was thinking about you too? I have a real good friend, one of my good friends. We always say, "Oh, I had to call you because I know you would call me first because you're thinking about me. I was just thinking about you." You see, thoughts do have power. They do. So let's review because I went through 6 strategies and you might have forgotten because situational amnesia, right? First of all, counting your blessings. That's a strategy that you can use. Counting your blessing. Another strategy is keeping a record. Keeping a record of past provisions, past blessings is strategy. Another one is revisiting the record often. Revisit it often. So revisiting, counting, keeping, revisiting. The next one was learning. Learn the character of God. You should spend time learning the character of God. And the last strategy was asking, asking and seeking wisdom. And remembered, we also covered stopping the negative thoughts. So we have 6 different strategies: counting blessings, keeping records, revisiting, learning God's character, asking for wisdom, and stopping the negative thought. Now, I want you to notice that all of these strategies require you to actively employ them. You can't be passive. You have to actively go after it. Guys, if you want peace, peace doesn't come naturally. You don't have to teach a child how to lie. That comes natural because the world is a fallen world. We're full of sin. You know that. So this requires some effort. Peace is not going to run up and mug you. You have to want peace. You have to pursue peace. And these are strategies that you can come back, you can conquer something that will take your peace. Because when you have situational amnesia, there is no peace because you think what you're going through is the first time and there is no help and there's no hope because you've forgotten. The intentional use of these strategies, I guarantee they will shorten the time you spend in the situational amnesia continuum. God bless. My hope is that this journey has been fruitful and you're able to take it and apply it to your life. Until next time, tune in again for the Prisoners of Hope podcast. God bless.